This is Tim Ferriss. Hey Tim. Tim wrote a book called The 4-Hour Workweek. You may have heard of it. When I first heard of this book, it struck me as clickbait. I mean, 4 hours for a work week? That's insane. And even if it wasn't clickbait, it probably only works for some people, but definitely not for me. You may not believe that a 4-hour work week is possible, and I don't blame you. There are principles here, though, that we can apply to make our businesses more scalable, more efficient, and to reduce our stress and improve our work-life balance. So I'm going to go over 2 of these principles that I think are most applicable, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can apply these principles inside of ODOO. So our first principle is time management. Have you ever heard of the Pareto principle? Basically, the Pareto principle suggests that 80% of our results come from 20% of our effort. Now you could look at this one way and say, wow, I'm wasting my time if that's actually true. But looking at it from a more hopeful standpoint, this is telling us that tiny little changes can have massive results. So where do you apply this in ODOO? First, let's talk about our forms and data entry. We need to take a good hard look at our forms in ODOO, especially if they are high volume forms, meaning that our people are using them regularly. Any of these fields that we don't need, we should make them invisible. They don't need to be causing confusion, and they don't need to be something that our people need to go in and fill out. I can't emphasize this enough. If you don't clean up your forms, you're going to have to train more, and your people are going to take more time getting through those forms. You just don't need that. This isn't just hiding fields, but you should spend some time looking at your forms and making sure that they do exactly what you want them to. If you need help with that, check out my video on the form view. Next, let's talk about automations. If you can do more with less, which is what automation is, then you're going to save yourself and your company time. ODOO makes it so easy to automate. You really owe it to yourself to learn how to do basic automations because it can save your company tons of time. So improve your time management, apply the Pareto principle, and allow tiny changes to make big impacts inside of your company. Okay, now let's discuss the second principle, and this will probably be a difficult one for most of us. You need to learn to delegate, and ODOO can help you do that. If you want anywhere close to a 4-hour work week, you cannot afford to be a micromanager. According to a study by Leadership IQ, you could gain back an entire workday just by learning to delegate appropriately. Beyond all this, your business cannot scale if you don't learn how to delegate appropriately. So how can ODOO help you step back and let your people do their jobs? Well, here are 2 ways that I would approach it. First, leverage approvals. You don't need to make every single decision inside your company. You can trust your people, or you should be able to trust your people to make decisions up to a certain point. If you need to refund a customer, if you need to make a purchase, that shouldn't always require you to be in the process. You should have a level set or an approval level set for those to where you can say, okay, under this level, I'm okay with you making that decision. Above that, I need to sign off on it. If you can use approvals effectively, your business will be able to scale better, and you'll be able to step back and get closer to that 4-hour work week. But you still want to know everything that's going on, right? Or at least you want to see the big picture. That's where our next functionality in ODOO comes in. Dashboards are deeply ingrained into ODOO. It allows managers, and really anyone, to see what's going on in the company and then be able to drill down into the detail if they have further questions. So you may not feel entirely comfortable stepping back, but with good dashboards and good reporting, you can feel comfortable because you can see what's going on with the company. There are more principles in this book, and there are more ways that ODOO can help you to become more efficient and more scalable as a company. The overarching principle to all of this, though, is that we want to get to where our company is scalable, efficient, and to where it doesn't rely on us or any one person to make it work. So if I could encourage you to do one thing as a goal, in the next quarter, use ODOO to reduce your work week by 1 hour. That's totally achievable. You can do it. If you need more help with how to use ODOO to achieve that goal, stick around. We've got a lot more where this came from. Thanks.